podcast side of things, so we can.
Can you give us the
And for the Ponies Online side, would you like us to take the Twitch feed or just keep looking at the Discord?
Let's go ahead and keep looking at the Discord here. I should be able to share the screen here, I think.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, here we go. Share
In the
screen.
other voice chat, you said you were going to give us the link, so we'd be more.
It was in
familiar
that.
with
It was in that voice chat that we were in. It was in the chat.
The link, the chat itself. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think that should do it. And there we go. All right. But yeah, just give us a few minutes, everybody. This will give you a chance to warm up, get yourself some water. Give me a second.
Oh wait, there it is. Okay, there it is. Okay.
All right, we're all good here. Yeah, get yourself some water. Get yourself a little stretch. We're a little early. Panel doesn't exactly start till 1 my time zone, so in just a few minutes. So great time to make sure you're all set up and good to go. Because this panel will be a whopper of a panel. Oh boy.
It's a humdinger.
And don't worry, I got chat rooms for all. I see our, I can actually see our normal live stream, which I'm going to admit during our trivia yesterday, I completely forgot to look at that. So, hello to our YouTubers and Twitchers on the Brony Show side of things. And also hello to Ponies Online out there. And hello to a wonderful iced chocolate vanilla coffee. Yes, hello.
Nice.
Hello, Caffeine, my old friend. You're the reason I can operate right now.
Alright.
Seriously, I'm gonna need a nap after Ponies Online. You guys are crazy.
Yes, we are.
Bunch
we
of
are
weirdos.
We are the not the last online convention, but one of the longest running online conventions at this point.
There you go. That's the spirit. By the way, if you're out there and you haven't checked it out yet, check out the vendor hall. It's got lots of goodies. I liked a lot of the goodies. I just wish I had more money for the goodies, but I don't. But also, charity auction. If you have even a modicum of talent, or you know somebody that does, I believe they are still requesting and accepting donations and offers of all types to make charity awesome tomorrow. Because they had to push it back.
The
till
last
tomorrow.
acceptable time for charity would be right before closing ceremonies, just so we don't have any late night stuff added in later.
So yeah, you definitely want to get it in as soon as possible in the next few hours or so. I don't exactly know when closing is, but I imagine we're closing.
Closing's at 11 Eastern, and we go till midnight on closing.
Okay, so you got hours. You got plenty of hours out there.
What are the perks of not having to be IRL? We don't have to vacate the building and tear everything down.
All right.
I did learn that the con store is gonna stay open for a while, so you have plenty of time to get the con store items.
Ooh.
Hope you've been enjoying yourself.
Vendor hall closes is Monday at 11:59.
Ooh. I don't get paid.
But
Because
that's just vendors.
They get Friday and Monday to make sales.
Yeah. I don't get paid till
I'll make that
Thursday.
bit.
Oh, sad. All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. And we're going to, let me get this cleaned up. And there we go. So, hello, everybody. I am Circuit Main, host of The Brony Show. I am joined here by DM21.
How you all doing? Hope you're having a great time.
Rainy.
It's your favorite screaming fox here to ruin the day.
And Coal Dust.
I like trains.
And it looks like we have two of the panelist leads here to be part of this. So we're dragging them in whether they like it or not. Toakoi.
Broken.
Oh, apparently he can't say no. He just NCMC.
Denied.
Denied. I'm denied. Okay. Well, hello.
I'm breaking everything. I may
I
be
said
in and
no
out. Who knows?
flyers.
All right. But yes,
Okay.
I want to talk about super background ponies. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is actually mostly because I found out about ponies nobody knows existed. I didn't even know they existed until I picked up a book and saw, wow, this pony's really cool, and nobody knew about it. There's barely any fan art, if there's any fan art. They only have a few lines, if they have lines at all. They're faded into obscurity. These are so far beyond your Lyras. They are so far beyond your bonbons. They are so far beyond hasty turnip truck, or whatever you want to call them.
You got it right.
No, you got it right the first time.
These
Yeah.
characters are so far beyond. You might get glimpses of them. You might hear little bits about them, and nobody does fan art of them. You might get lucky to find a pin. Allura wishes that she had this kind of background status. And if you don't know who Allura is, that kind of explains all. Junebug wishes she could do this. These are super
I think
background
one of the vendors
ponies.
has an Allura pin.
And
Yes.
I already have it, actually. I think it's really cool. It was Amy New, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, but we can always check, or in between our ramblings,
yes.
you can check out
Diamond,
the
Background
vendor.
Junebug,
ponies.
Diamond Rose. There's quite a few of them, and it's not any of those. But let's
No
go
one
ahead and
knows
get
what an
started here.
Applejack is.
Now, we are going to warn you right now. This is not going to be just to the 9 seasons and the specials that are out there. No, this is going to incorporate 4.5, or Pony Life. This will incorporate
Oh, no.
the comics. This will incorporate official literature. And yes, even G5 is getting in on this. Okay, CLR there is actually starting to get the idea. I did not include Pinky's brother, though. That one actually caught me completely off guard. I won't lie.
What?
No, he exists. I actually found out about him, but no.
Oh,
You know, I can
What?
believe it.
But will it incorporate
Even
Equestrian
with the
Girls?
first
Not
one.
exactly, no. In fact, I just thought the book cover was nice. It will not incorporate Equestrian Girls because I don't know if they have actually super background characters in Equestrian Girls. But that's the fun of this. That's what we want to discover. We want to discover the characters nobody knows about.
but would they be super background ponies in Equestria Girls, or would they be super background people?
It could be. They
Super
could be the
background no one cares about.
NPCs of the Equestria Girls universe. They're the nameless, faceless anime characters that you see in the back that all have normal brown hair, while you have your crazy spiky purple hair at the front. You know,
Oh, yeah,
big
like
NPC
those
energy. That's a good way to do it. Big NPC
My
energy.
pony character.
Which is
like
kind of
that,
ironic because one of
like
these
that,
background ponies actually has
one
spiky
back-
hair.
Like
But
that
yes.
one background human with fluffy hair and the other background human with a bowl cut. Who are friends.
The Canterlot Buckball team. Oh yeah, that would be a good one. But yes,
Another
but we
few
spread across.
Equestria Girl characters that are unique that I just remembered.
But yes, we go across the spectrum and across the world. So you have been warned at this point. Now, here are the guidelines. And I say guidelines because I'm not going to lie, even I broke some of my rules on this a little bit. But I felt that it was worth it. So they have to show up in G4 media or later. We will not see 3. We will not see 3. We will not see 2. We will not see 1. We will not see My Little Pony
Ponytails.
Tales. We will not see the Flash animation with the horrible Scootaloo that nobody wants to remember.
It's fun.
They have to be in G4 or later. So we will not get the French. Buttons, no.
And
Buttons, no. That's wrong. I'm sorry. I love that so much. Now, the other thing is they have to be in multiple media. We want them in multiple episodes. We want them in multiple comics. We want them crossing comics and episodes. We want them crossing comics and books. We want it so that they're not one-off showings, or else we would be here forever. We have pirate ponies that only showed up in the comics for a few issues and never again. We have this wonderful, awesome little hipster guy. He only showed up in one short during Rarity, when Rarity is during the Rarity micro series. Never again. He's awesome. Go. He's hilarious. I love him. we have a lot of characters like that. So we want ones that have a little bit more, even a little bit more presence. Because there's a difference between a background pony, a super background pony, and a one-off pony. A one-off cameo, a one-off showing. There's a difference. We want to make sure we're clear about that. We want to make sure they are not well known. No Lyras, no bonbons. If they have several fanfics about them, fan art, fanfics, fan art, if they have their own section in Derpy Baru and it is very filled, and it's not just screenshots or random snippets of them, that's too much. You know, we want the super background ponies. We want the background ponies nobody talks about. If they
the only thing I'm going to say is Flaxseed there technically appeared in more comics, but was very much background, so he still counts for this.
Which is kind of ironic in a weird way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have sworn I saw him in the Mare Applejack friendship Friends Forever comic.
Huh.
Yeah, I saw a few lists here, and I ignored anything that said logo, but yeah, he and his wife Wheatgrass really do appear as a background character.
Which is kind of ironic. And admittedly, I haven't read that comic series yet, so I didn't know that either. So, again, guidelines. These are guidelines. We're not going to be 100% certain. If they have toys only, they do not count. Princess Skyla. Those of us in the old fandom know of Princess Skyla. We thought they were going to start dropping alicorns all over the place. She taunted and tormented us to no end. Those in the earlier fandoms know of the one in the top right. I forgot her name again.
Lemon Drops, I think?
No.
That's Lily Blossom, isn't it?
Thank you, Lily Blossom.
Thank you.
Lily Blossom. A toy that appeared, had a G4 design on the packaging. Everybody was screaming up and down, she's going to be in Season 2, she's going to be in Season 3. She never showed up. She was only a toy. So, it's not super background pony material. Toyetic material. Only one comic appearance does not count. Kinda. Again, that's a stipulation on me. We have some awesome villains, I'm not gonna lie. We have Discord's cousin. She's completely messed up. You should read those comics if you ever have. The Pirate Ponies. Should check those out. There's a whole Season 10 situation of comics that gets really wild if you really look into it. You have the G4... Yeah, you have the G4 movie comics. You have the movie comics where you even find out about the friend to Cat Guy. I completely blanked his name.
Capper.
Yeah, Capper's friend that betrayed him.
Hummer,
yeah.
Yes.
Chummer, yeah. You find out about a lot of characters, a lot of their families, a lot of their back stuff. But the thing is that they only show up for them once, maybe twice, or for that arc, and then they're gone forever. So, no, only one comic appearance does not count, kind of, because there's a few exceptions. And cameos and OCs do not count. Again, we will be here forever if we have to talk about every time we saw the Blues Ponies, Rick and Morty, the Super Mario Ponies, the Charlie Brown Ponies. There's been 3 different Charlie Browns at this point. We would be here forever.
Price's Cats. You can't forget about Mr. Price's Cats.
Exactly that. But these are the stipulations. Again, these are guidelines, though, because we do break them a little bit. But it is for both entertainment and some interesting characters. And with that out of the way, I'm going to get started with one of the characters that really started this off for me. Potion Nova. Now, the reason I immediately bring her up is she fills even more background than the background ponies in Pony Life. Mostly because most people dropped out of Pony Life after three episodes. But
and also, wasn't she a part of a line-wide gimmick?
She was basically she was a huge part of the entire gimmick of the first season, if not the entire series. Which is amazing that she has such a background status. But
yeah, she only got a few episodes and she got regulated to the background.
Not even that. She only appeared for Season 1 and then was gone after that.
Yeah,
she literally she literally vanished on her own. It was funny as all out.
because I think somehow I watched season 1 but never read anything more.
Exactly, yeah.
So I've got a thing to go back to.
Yep. So we consider the Zecora stand-in for season 1 of Pony Life. The reason being is Zecora originally was supposed to be a mentor to Twilight, being the Yoda to Twilight's Luke Skywalker, teaching Twilight Sparkle how to use magic, how to be a proper unicorn. It didn't happen that way. Potion Nova kind of pops in out of nowhere. Twilight begs and becomes her apprentice and learns how to make potions with Potion Nova, which only lasts for about 2 episodes, and then again she vanishes.
I was kind of disappointed that Zecora wasn't the mentor, but then again, I don't think the writers would have wanted to write her lines for her rhyming lines.
I don't know. I think they just had their own way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
For
zebras are a whole.
They went with Potion Nova.
Zebras are a whole nother fascinating thing, but in any case, Potion Nova here was essentially Twilight's mentor for a few episodes in potion crafting. The funny thing about Potion Nova is she wasn't a potion crafter, she was a refrigerator salesman. She literally used the potions as an excuse to sell fridges to ponies all across Ponyville. Which is, I thought, the most hilarious way of doing fridges. You know, here's magical potions that give you random exotic effects that are for fun, and I'm gonna sell you a fridge with them. Just, that is the silliest thing, and I absolutely loved it. She appeared in 7 episodes.
But wait, here's more.
She appeared in 7 episodes, which makes her almost the most prolific of the super background ponies, because the rest of these characters only appear in a few short things outside of one. So she was rather prolific. However, she was heavily background half the time, and the other half, yeah, she was a major part of the episode. But again, she doesn't get talked about all that much. And literally at the last episode of season 1, she vanishes out from the bleachers saying, oh, she's got to refill more fridges, and is never seen again. Literally the only time...
I'm going for a pack of smokes.
Literally a pack of smokes, just like I'm going for a carton of milk and gone forever. It is the most. It is beautiful. It was actually very hilarious when you look back on it. She's the only pony or even most the only character I've ever seen where they just kind of vanish out of nowhere, with an reason to vanish and just never comes back. The funny thing about Potion Nova is she even was included in the toy line for Pony Life, which makes it even more interesting that she has such a background status. She's the most prolific background pony. I keep telling you guys this. I mean this in all honesty. She's one I'm really surprised didn't even get up to Lyra and Bonbon kind of status of background. She just kept falling behind that, but that's Pony Life for you, I suppose. And this one's weird, but she's apparently friends with Minty. This was on her packaging. She's just friends with Minty.
Weird.
Hell yeah.
That's how you do it. Just say it and it becomes true.
And of course, the big chief reason most people don't know about her first appearance was in Pony Life episode 13, Pony Potion Mystery. And she literally was a walk-on cameo at the end of the episode. Just for half a second. Well, maybe more like 30 seconds, but just in and gone. So that is Potion Nova. Any thoughts on the first of our prolific super background ponies?
It's amazing how if she was introduced in like proper G4 just as a background character, how much fan fiction would we have?
I think we would have. Lord. I think she would have her own dedicated audience, much like the Glimmers and the Shimmers.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just? Yeah, I think she actually would be.
Yes.
She would be our
Glimmers and the Shimmers.
We got the Glimmers, the Shimmers, the Trixies, and then we would have the Potions, potions, the Novas.
And they would have wrote an episode about her selling potions.
I think she could have actually been easily one of those the secondary unicorns that everybody jumps onto and has her own her own fandom grouping. I think she had that potential. She just never managed to reach it. Just honestly, why I had thought this up and why this is a shame. This is the literal shame.
I'm partly glad they never did, because that means that she would have sidelined Sakura in Twilight's arc.
Nobody. I mean, no. Well, no. I don't think so. What?
No, DM. I
No,
think
the
you're
point
looking too into it.
Yeah, I
Well-
might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be a great pony to ship with Sakura.
Actually, that
Yes,
might even be
actually,
better.
we can
I
do
mean, they're
that.
both potion makers. Why not? Potion
yeah.
Nova and Sakura. Zenova. Zenova? I like
Get
that.
on it, fanfic writers. I
We-
want to see one by the end of the summer.
And about 5 different
That's
fan
right.
arts of
Oh
that.
man, the fan fictions would be insane.
Alright. Okay, so that's our first background character. Let's start really getting into the weeds now. Melody Brooke.
Season 10.
Melody Brooke. This
Oh.
one is the first official sighting of a Kelpie in the series. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much in the way of fan art, fan creations, or anything because, yes, she was part of the infamous Season 10 of the MLP comics. And if we really, Season 10 was IDW's attempt of keeping the series going a little bit longer after Season 9 ended. And it had its audience, but it definitely had its detractors too. A lot of aggression towards Season 10. The writing apparently was not on the wall, which was a problem. There was
This was the season I said the next MLP comic series that comes, I'm not gonna buy because this season could destroyed one of the trusts I had left in IDW.
It was not well written. It was an attempt at something, but they basically were. I guess they were handed the reins, and somebody. I don't know the details. I'm not going to go into it. I have yet to read the series in extensiveness. I've only read a couple of the comics. But Melody Brooke was an awesome design and a Kelpie, which is basically a Scottish pony. Which hence the ducktail Kelpies there, because they were basically
water pony, that is.
Yeah, they were water horses. So, we had to include a Kelpie in here. So, she is the main character of the comic series for Season 10. So, she did appear in several of them. She is officially the first G4 appearance of a Kelpie and didn't even need a special Scottish hat for that.
Oh, actually, no.
Huh?
No.
No?
There's Cassie the Kelpie, who is in the I can't remember which trade issue it's in.
No. It wasn't Cassie the Kelpie. I thought it was Cassie the Wendigo. Or Wendy the
No,
Cassie was the
that's
Kelpie.
not Wendigo. It was a Kelpie.
There was another
Because
Kelpie?
Cassie was a Kelpie.
She was the river spirit, and the pets had to band together in a comic to, snap the owners out of being brainwashed by her song. That or she was a siren. One of the two.
That sounds more like a siren
she
than
was
a
a
Kelpie.
Kelpie.
She was a Kelpie, really?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
No,
Oh, that's why I didn't
spoilers.
remember.
That was one of the questions we did not get to in the trivia.
Oh, their world. You see, this is why.
But this also shows.
This is
also
also.
shows that Seconds right. These are background characters to the point where people forget that there were other background characters of similar species.
Okay.
That was one
Yeah,
of
I always remembered her as a siren, not a Kelpie for some reason.
I'll have to. I'm really gonna have to look into that. Now I'm really curious.
I can look it up while you do.
Yeah. Oh, no, she's no mythical water horse.
True.
Yeah.
See, they're from the Zakora storyline, which
Yeah.
I really want to get the comics eventually because Zakora meeting all these interesting beings sounds.
These were her
Awesome.
friends.
This
I
was
know.
basically. This was our best and only ever look of G4 into Zakora's homeland of basically Pony Africa.
Exactly. There's
much.
so much we could learn if they had a good going there.
Yeah. But yes, big reason she's here is, well, she is kind of cute. She has an adorable look about her. So, yep. Let's see. Kelpies and sirens are related. The comic does try hard to explain it. That's why it's a bit neck pulling at Pionta. Let's see. By the way, where do you even find the comics? Preferably for free. I legally can't tell you that. There are sources. I would also keep an eye on Humble Bundle. They don't have them for free. However, you can usually, sometimes they have big pony comic bundles for just pennies on the dollar, like $10, and you get several 70 issues. Really awesome stuff.
I think I saw a channel a while ago that had LMP comics on it on YouTube.
There is one. I'm not doing it just because I don't want to just throw random stuff at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Lily Moon!
Oh, boy.
Hands up, who knows of Lily Moon? Because I don't think you do.
I don't.
Nobody does.
It's been
Very
a while.
few people know about Lily Moon.
It's been a coon's age since I read this series again.
I've seen that character before,
No.
but
Yeah, Edge
because
my
I've
little
seen
Edge
that.
Horse. Yeah, that is very
Yeah.
accurate. Lily Moon is a mysterious pony full of mysteries. She appeared in the My Little Pony Ponyville Mysteries book series. 6 books for young readers, where Lily Moon was another little filly that kind of popped up out of nowhere and helps the CMC with solving weird mysteries going on within Ponyville. She, of course, started off with really shy and kind of not exactly antagonistic, but closed
Sarcastic.
off. She was very closed off to start, but eventually she warms up to the CMC, and funny
not
enough,
sarcastic.
she's the 7th member of the original Cutie Mark Crusader crew. That's right.
Sorry,
Really?
what?
She
7.
is. She is the 7th one. After Babs and
There's
Gabby.
Babs, there's Gabby, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that would be 6.
Yeah,
No, she's a
Babs and
7.
Gabby,
I think so. I'm sure there's somebody else isn't there at some point. No, I'm okay, 6.
Is
she
Spike supposed to be in there?
I mean,
Wait,
then Spike
is it
would
counted?
be the 4th.
Okay, yeah,
It could be-
everybody's immediately going into My Little Emo Pony.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that she's in here, she is a major character in all of the books, but she was also mentioned in the Ponyville Mystery comic line that ran for a few issues as well. So, she's officially...
the comic series as well. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, she was mentioned, but she never had an official showing outside of the books. So the images we have of her outside of fandom creations are from the books.
Huh.
Oh yeah, Tender Taps.
Tender Taps. Oh, so she is 7. Okay, there you go. I was absolutely right. She is officially Cutie Mark Crusader number 7. Funny enough, she also has a sister
Oh,
called
right,
Amber
Tender.
Moon, who has a slightly similar lookish to her, but not quite. But she doesn't count because Lily Moon was also, again, only one mentioned in the comic series outside of the book series. But yes, I thought Lily Moon was a really interesting... Yeah, it's My Little Edge Pony, but I think the design is still pretty cool. And it would have been fun to see some of the fan artists really running with this one, and they never did.
I do like the style.
Her Cutie
Style
Mark
is good.
Her Cutie Mark is actually the background of the slide here. It is a book with a moon on it. It's a lily-colored book. It's kind of a lavenderish book with a moon on it. But yes, if you really want to get to know Lily Moon, you'll need to read the Ponyville Mystery books. I don't know where you would be able to get them outside of bookstores, but they tend to be ridiculously cheap because, once again, these are kids' books. They're very small. You could probably get through a single one within an hour if you really wanted to. So,
You underestimate my ability to be bad at reading.
I said probably.
You're supposed to read.
All right.
Also, if I remember correctly, between the comics, the book, and the show, the Skulu's aunts were described differently between the comics, the books, and the show.
That can always be the case because let's be
Yes,
frank.
because we had the first description actually in one of the storybooks,
Mhm.
and then I think the second was in the comics, and then we had the show showing off
Yeah.
Scootaloo's family.
Yeah. Yeah, the aunts were fun. Were a fun plot hole, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
All right, so on to our next super background pony,
Who you got?
Wild Siders. This is a triple.
Oh yeah, these three.
So we already did Potion Nova. Those who stuck around for season 2 of Pony Life for how quick that was, the Care Bear Cousins of MLP. Yes,
Yeah.
actually, quite literally, pretty much that. They showed up mid-season of season 2 of Pony Life. So yeah, as much as Potion Nova isn't well known, these characters barely register as being even background characters. And no, it is
They're
not
like-
Aura from G5.
They're like the My Littlest Pet Shop characters.
Kind of are.
Oh, that show. Oh.
But yes, they are animal characters that popped up after some dimension and time traveling shenanigans that happened with the Pony Life crew, and eventually just kind of decided to stay in Ponyville.
Wait, how off the wall did they get in that show?
They went time traveling and dimension hopping. I don't know if we can pass that anymore.
Extremely wild.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but yes,
Starlight, you have a mission.
but the first appearance was season 2, episode 6 of Pony Life. They are dimensional hoppers, and in fact, their origins are from an alternate reality Ponyville. So essentially, they are the Care Bear Cousins. They're from a Ponyville where I guess ponies didn't exist. I haven't seen the episodes yet. I just knew that these guys existed. These guys were there. So they are from an alternate dimension Ponyville, and they came to the Ponies Ponyville and decided to stay around until the end of the series. And of course, they're animals. They got the bat, the peacock, and the tigress.
Unicorn thing.
They're all unicorns too, by the way. They all got horns. Which, considering how many horns they were sticking horns on.
I think we saw the inspiration for a lore with lightning flash chill.
I think some people were making jokes about lightning flash chill and Allura. In all honesty, I've seen a few fun comparison images between the two. Yeah.
And TNT
the horns,
sometimes it's supposed to be the boring one.
The horns weren't exactly a last minute thing. It was oddly enough kind of a pushed thing that they were doing for Pony Life. A lot of the toys way early on had horns. And I couldn't tell you why. I could not tell you why.
Every
horns
pet
make
had
things
one.
magical.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's one thing that blends G4 into G5 is that animals have horns now.
Well,
Yeah.
Or I
And
guess
wings as well. Wings. Don't forget wings.
I could also
Interesting.
I could make a little bit of a joke about the fact that maybe they heard that sex sells and they decided that means everybody was horny and they kind of took it literally. That was
Bap.
stupid.
Just baps you. How
was
dare.
going
I'm
so
so
hard.
I'm
I
so
was
sorry.
Thrown
throwing
who?
the horny joke so bad.
But yeah, I do kind of like the character designs. I think the peacock has an awesome coloring. I think Lightning Flash Chill has the most ridiculous name, but I do like that design. Of Echo is a bat. Echo is probably
Not
the
a
most.
little bat creature.
Echo feels so
Yeah.
generic out compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, his name.
Yeah,
and
it's
his
just a bat.
design.
It's just a bat, but it's a bat too. It is a bat, so you know. So let's go ahead and move on to our next super background character. Cherry Blossom. This one is fun. This one is so much fun because it pulled up some really interesting history when you looked into it. She is our exception, one of our exceptions. She only appeared once in one comic. Not even a comic series. It was one comic. And she is an exuberant out there professional wrestler and Cheerilee's sister. She appeared in the wrestling comic, the one where you see Cheerilee in a luchador outfit, which is the one thing that people remember the most.
Was she a twin sister or just a sister?
She was a sister, but she looks so alike that I wouldn't be surprised if they were considered twins, but she's older. And here's the fun
Oh
fact
yeah,
about
she
all
is
of this.
older. No, I remember now.
No, the fun fact is this actually ties into the history of where this character actually came from.
Oh,
Cherry Blossom
Why?
was the original toy line with the same colors as Cheerilee. Back in G3, G2, G1, however far back you want to go. Before G4 was a thing, the pony with the same colors as Cheerilee was Cherry Blossom. But then when G4 came out, they came out with Cheerilee, who had the same colors, and they started to rebrand the toys as Cheerilee instead of Cherry Blossom. So the comics apparently brought the older sister of Cheerilee, who was Cherry Blossom, who had the same color scheme.
interesting. I'm going to do some digging on this now. I'm fascinated.
That's
Oh,
why I
okay.
brought. That's why I brought her
No
up
wonder
here.
My first instinct was that these were twins.
She was an
More
exception.
trivia
Designs
from
are
Cole.
so similar.
She was an exception, but she was a fascinating exception. So I had to bring her in. Oh, it is Cherry Blossom season in Japan right now. Everybody, make sure you grab your beers and your bento boxes.
What perfect
Oh, I thought you were
timing.
going to say grab your luchador outfits.
Grab your luchador outfits and go to Japan.
No.
That'll work.
Meet me in the ring.
Meet me in the ring of Cherry Blossom to Japan. Then we're gonna have tacos afterwards. Just like
Suplex.
Bone saw is
we're
ready.
gonna have we're gonna have tacos and Mediterranean salad, just like the Japanese. I am so sorry. I really. But yeah, Cherry Blossom, I'm absolutely fascinated by her. I thought it was funny that they just introduced a random sibling character, considering we also now have the Pinkie Pie brother that appeared out of nowhere in Pony Life. Fair enough. But just the
Also, just checking the wiki. Yes, they are twin sisters. Cheerilee is just the second born. Cherry was the first.
well,
Yes.
so technically
yeah.
the older sister, but fair enough.
I knew I remembered correctly. Damn.
Huh. Well, my fault too. I guess I didn't get a good wiki article on this one. But yeah, no.
Guess not.
Well, it's one of those things. It's fun doing this and having someone help citate.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next super background pony, Violet Rainbow.
Oh, this little sweetheart.
Concerns.
And it's sad that she is a super background pony because she looks cool.
She shouldn't have been a super background pony. She really shouldn't have. But unfortunately, same with Potion Nova. That's kind of where the chips fell. And redacted, I am with you. I saw that the top right image. I saw it, and I could not help but keep laughing. And yeah,
It's just fight Beth.
That face. It's so beautiful.
it is. That
Much
is that
concern.
is the joy I wish I could have in life. Though I have a feeling that you would also need to have some pills going on for that too.
And that Minty comment is from the comments in
And
Discord. not
maybe a
my
little
own
straight
comment.
jacket.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna get too much into the black coding on this one. But let's go ahead and start off with Violet Rainbow here, who appeared in the comic series to start. She was actually part of a separate side story for Izzy, where she was introduced and brought on as the crafting protege under Izzy. And of course, you can see her pattern is very unique because she has. I very much apologize. I'm trying my hardest to pronounce this.
Her
Vitiligo.
pattern is that of a painted,
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo? Is it vitiligo?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
is that the
essentially,
name of the horse?
it is an actually known skin condition where the pigment of the skin will start to fade in splotches on people.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, Michael Jackson supposedly had it, and a lot of other people do have it. But yeah,
It's normally not very severe. It's just a different thing, but it can be,
it's degrees.
Oh.
You can have massive degrees. Sometimes it's maybe little light spots here and there, and other times you look kind of like Violet Rainbow here. But that's why I was really impressed with her, because she basically represented kind of something that you would never see in pony comics or in ponies in general. I mean, you get sometimes the the pony that's on crutches, or the pony that's missing a leg or an eye. You know, some kind of a
Wheelchair.
yeah,
Porn.
a physical disability. But you never see something where it's more just a superficial disability, but definitely one that is important to talk about.
There is a certain horse that is based off of this. It's called the painted horse, where the pigments are kind of like splotches, like by the rainbow here.
Yeah. And Violet Rainbow actually has one of the greatest and most amazing honors ever seen in any MLP character. She was introduced in the comics, and later she became, albeit short, unfortunately, an actual animated character in the series.
Yeah, that's the first. I never thought they would do that.
Yeah, it never happened before. She was literally the first, the first trailblazer for this.
And this was happening during the same time that a bunch of the contest ponies were getting put into the backgrounds of the show, so it got confusing of if she was one or not.
It was a little bit confusing, but no, she was a legitimate creation that was brought on. Then again, the OC ponies were interesting, to say the least. They're not bad. I want to say elaborate. That's the word, elaborate.
It really
Very
should,
elaborate.
Pat. It really should.
Yeah. The top right image should be a meme. Yes, memeify it. That should be a meme. Go ahead and click the image right now. We'll wait here a second if you want.
Yeah, I should have said the whole.
It probably is on Derpy Boru under the tag.
It absolutely
for the
is Derpy Boru. All of these images came from Derpy Boru.
So just dig it up there and have fun.
Yeah. Please, yeah, that is absolutely meme image, and absolutely love it. But yes, this was Izzy's crafting protege, and it's wonderful that they actually really wanted to bring this out to the forefront. And again, this is also a character that probably should have gotten a lot more love than she did. Not to say that the community didn't try on this one. I remember Sophie Scruggs actually did a comic cover with one of her first introductions, and even had some special pins created. I bought that comic, and I have that pin. It's on my pin board right now. Really awesome.
And plus, she came back in the comics again for like a mystery series that's been going on.
Well, there's a mystery series. She's also teamed up with a friend that's also a zebra. We actually got her G5 zebra, first and probably only G5 zebra, sadly. But, yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. King Vorak. I honestly did not expect to bring this guy out, but he got lucky.
Wait, what?
King Vorak. No, hold on.
I'll get there. Hold
on. I'll get there. King Vorak only appeared in one issue of the comics, The Fiendship is Magic, issue 2, which dealt with the story of Lord Tyrek. King Vorak, of course, is Lord Tyrek's father. Now, why is he here if he only appeared in one comic? Because in the last season, in the second to last episode of My Little Pony Generation 4 Friendship is Magic, Discord immediately calls out in order to piss off Lord Tyrek about how he's always trying to appease Daddy Dearest King Vorak. Pissing off.
Can never compare it to his dad.
Can never compare it to his dad, which completely pissed Tyrek off. And yes, it shows Tyrek has some massive daddy issues. But again, this is a comic character that actually got a call out in the series. Not a showing. That was Violet Rainbow's specialty, but he got a call out. So it was a very obvious canon tie at that point. And thus, King Vorak is on this list. So yes, Tyrek has a father complex. The whole reason he sucks ponies dry, I will not apologize for that statement, is because he is trying to become powerful enough to feel like he can finally appease Daddy Dearest, who he could never get favor of. We have learned.
What an interesting guy.
His mother in the background there with his brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang.
Yeah.
Parents.
So, yep. You also had Scorpan and the mother there too, but Scorpan could technically have been on here too. I think your guys' reaction kind of said it best. King Vorak is not known. He gets mentioned, he does exist, and he is tied. So, yep. There's King Vorak for you, everybody.
I need to rewatch the end of the series again to hear Discord say that line.
Yeah, it is a quick one line, but that's all it took.
Yeah, when he first said that, when I first watched it live, I said to myself, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, I actually lost it. It's like, oh my god, they name dropped. Yeah, especially
I will
since,
say,
yeah, this was the time when comics were also still being touted as soft canon. So just getting an actual tie-in to an official source tying into the comic was amazing at that time.
I will say, I can understand how he feels like he won't live up to his dad because of that really nice rack. Look at those antlers.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's a good rack on him.
Yeah.
He attracts all the ladies.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on. I'm not. Let's talk
you.
about another one that I'm really surprised didn't get more canonicity, but also did get a little attention in the fandom. Princess Amore.
Oh?
Princess Amore was the ruler of the Crystal Empire before Sombra became a pill. So,
Okay.
So, yep. This was actually really interesting because she first appeared in Fiendship is Magic issue 1, dealing with the story of how Sombra came to be. But she was also mentioned in several other comics. And here's an interesting one as opposed to other tie-in resources. She was mentioned in the official book, The Diary of the Two Sisters.
Really?
Also,
She is actually mentioned in there. And she even has an allusion. She's alluded to in Season 3, Episode 1. Which she is the one that started the Crystal Fair that the Crystal Ponies celebrate every year.
and Cadence's middle official name is
Amore Cadenza.
Yeah.
Which
She showed
Amore,
up
she
in the-
is actually distantly related to Princess Cadence. Cadence and Amore are closely related, which is how Cadence actually is the queen of the Crystal Empire.
even before she became an Alicorn.
Yeah.
And definitely after the comic, they did appear in the Game Loft game, and you can still get them when that event rolls around.
Yeah. But her demise is the most epic one of all of them. Because she was turned into Crystal by Sombra when he was going full antagonistic villain. Then shattered. And all of her parts spread all across Equestria. The reason for that is apparently they alluded that if the parts got back together, that she could apparently somehow regenerate back to normal if that ever happened. So Sombra did a full metal shattering the queen and spreading her ashes around the world. Crazy stuff.
That is pretty insane, but also means that now in Ponies we have a reason to gather the Chaos Emeralds.
Yes, we do.
Did not see that one coming. I did not see that one coming.
Gather the Dragon Balls.
We need
Girl, gather the pony. No, don't say it like that. Nail, gather the pony shards. Gather the pony
It's your
shards so
own
we can
person to
summon the
build the pony.
princess. I need another catheter.
Although with Crystal, it really should be go for the Shikon Jewel.
Ooh, yeah.
Actually,
Oh, actually, the Shikon Jewel. Okay, so everybody,
Yeah.
we need
honestly.
a high school girl that got traveled to the past. We need a dog demon that has really cute ears. And then we need some weird, irritating little squawky thing that nobody knows why it's there, but apparently it's important.
Hey, I like
Diamond
Chico.
Diamond Dog, Kieran,
Yeah.
a Crystal Pony. A
I mean, we
pony.
could.
For those of you that
No.
don't know, that this is all references to Inuyasha there.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we haven't even got to the demon hunter and the monk that has an issue.
This this could be a good Equestria Girls fanfic.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, that'd be funny if one of the
Yeah,
shards was actually.
makes sense.
Actually, that would
We'll
be funny
get
if
to that.
they.
We have stuff going on.
If they actually shoved one of the shards of Princess Amore in Equestria Girls Land. That would be such a flex.
Pony magic.
Fanfic writers get on it.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next super background pony, 4-step.
Oh.
So yep, now we're going into the weird, interesting ones that you do see around, but you never really think about it. 4-step was a pony that appeared in 3 different episodes, but never gets credited. In fact, the only reason we have a name is because of her trading card. Or her playing card. But yes, she appeared in The Best Night Ever, trying to get an audience with Princess Celestia. She also appears in the background during an auction. And I think she has a few other appearances, but those are the 2 major ones where you can really easily get a look at her. And her claim to fame...
I first came across this pony during the trading card games and the very Best Night Ever episode.
Yep.
At the
5 bits.
Gala, and one of the things with rarity in Canterlot.
5 bits. Offer 5. Okay, we'll give you 5 bits for 4-step. It's a 4 for 5 deal. Da 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 da.
Now it's better than the 3 that we had the other day.
Yes, 4-step. There's really not much to say. It's really interesting because I actually did try looking her up to see if she has any kind of fandom presence, and nope. No,
What?
There was not a whole lot of names in regards to her. There wasn't a lot of background images. There wasn't...
The Best Night Ever, she was credited as the unicorn.
Yeah, just random
But
unicorn.
look at that outfit!
Yeah.
It's such a pretty outfit. How is this not getting...
It is really weird. I don't know how she fell through the cracks like... We got
also hair. That is a unique style of hair.
We got giant lore. We get giant lore for a Cyclops pony that was a random glitch, and yet she gets ignored. I do not know how this happened.
My only guess is that it'd be really hard to draw her hairstyle.
Okay, well maybe
true.
The pony is a 60 dance
one of the
trend.
main reasons I think why
I can believe it.
More fan art.
I mean, they have the twist and the mashed potato.
Alright, well, I'd say we talked enough about 4-step. Let's go ahead and dance on to the next character. Meadow Flower.
Oh.
Meadow Flower. This one's kind of fun because she only shows up once. But her story is apparently very interesting. But her only appearance was in Wonderbolt's Academy, but she was a late-stage tie-in. Because a lot of the spots that she was initially going to be that she is in, were initially going to be for Spitfire. She apparently took Spitfire's place in a lot of scenes for Wonderbolt's Academy. So, she is literally a background pony that got written in out of nowhere. How crazy is that?
I see that ending there. I know your bias is showing.
We all love ponies. It's awesome. But yes, Meadow Flower also did appear in a few comic issues, but she is super background pony. We are talking maybe a few lines of dialogue, and that is it. Otherwise, she is just there. And once again, she's also not well known. She is surprisingly not well known, all things considered, even being one of the ponies on the Spinnerizer there, as you can see.
Yes, Pat, this base design is based on like Sibsy, but recolored.
Yep, kind of a Sibsy color, which is kind of funny, really. Also, she's the most...
Sibsy had the brown.
Yep, but she's also the most important pony in the world to me because she rescued Twilight Sparkle, which is the most important pony in the world to me. Well, I mean, yeah, but when you're in a free fall after getting blustered around by a tornado, you kind of tend to forget things like how to fly. Let's see. It's based on this is based on a background animator OC.
Background artist. Hold on.
Oh, that would be cool. I didn't see anything like that. I actually did look. Yeah, she rescued Twilight when they were when the ponies were in a free fall after the balloon got sucked up by the errant whirlwind during the Wonderbolt Academy. She actually was the one. No, wait, I think that was before Twilight even became a princess. Now that I'm talking
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was.
Yeah, Twilight
It
had no
was.
wings. She had to rescue her.
Yep, that one.
Okay.
That is Simpsons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know my trivia and whatnot.
All
I
right.
knew what Cole was talking about. I just couldn't remember which episode and where.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on here before Tokoi starts to take the audience out and starts to try to brawl them somehow. Let's go talk to Savoir Faire.
Yeah,
Which
let's get one last in before we end off.
I think we got. Wait, is this the last one?
We go to the hour.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think this was the last pony that I had listed here. So, yeah, this is our last one, and then we might try to talk about other super background ponies if we have a few more extra minutes here. But Savoir Faire was the last one that we wrote up about. This one I found fascinating when it was brought to my attention because he is one you would not expect to be such a background pony. He has been in almost every single season of the show. He's in season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. Doesn't appear in 6, I think. He appears once, so he's just either in the background, being a waiter, and he also kind of swaps around a bit. Sometimes he has a horn, sometimes his mustache is a little trimmed. Very, very odd. He's basically that background pony that also changes shape as needed. And he's also
Ticketmaster last Brony.
I think he was also coined as Haute Cuisine by the
Yes.
fandom before he was officially named Savoir Faire by the card game.
Huh.
Makes
I didn't
sense.
realize he appeared that much in the series. I
No,
remember him in season 1 and 2, but
Yeah, no, that's
Huh.
the fascinating thing. He appears a lot, but he
Watch all
has
the dining
no
scenes.
he has no fandom following. He has no attention. He is the epitome of a super background pony, because people know him, people have seen him, but you don't think about him at all. And the fandom is biased towards mares. I'm not gonna deny that. Mares tend to get more attention than the stallions, but the stallions still get a little bit of attention. Granted, usually they have to be in a cowboy hat or probably bench press other ponies. Big Mac.
Or in armor.
But yeah, no.
I mean-
Savoir Faire was so fascinating to find out that this pony existed and that nobody really paid attention. I guess the term is bland. He's just like somehow stupidly bland, even though he's like the French waiter pony of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, stallions do deserve love. We do want to get their attention here too, which is why we have them here. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we basically had 80% mares in this one too, and just a few stallions or a few.
question for you.
Yeah.
All right, Savoir Faire. So he appears in season 1 in Ponyville in that little cafe there, the one with like the clover leaf and stuff. Where does he
Yep.
appear later on? Does he keep appearing in the same place?
Yeah,
Or-
No,
no.
No, he appears all over the place. He is all over
He
the
appears
map.
all over the place, Toa.
One of the times he appears is when Rarity is losing her mind because of that magic of the book was making her make everything fancy.
Inspiration
Okay.
manifestation.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
one that replaced the clown and had just a bunch of hors d'oeuvres there. So, just to go through real fast, Savoir Faire appeared at mixing Con Main's drinks in the train car during one of Pinkie Pie's stories, where you basically had the bomb thing going on.
And
That's
he was
right.
a bartender.
Cure.
Season 3 in Magical Mystery Cure, he
yeah.
was in the cafe, and he's actually one of the pony that danced on top of the table along with Twilight. Again,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
which is why fascinating that nobody knows this guy.
Also, Mystery
Yeah,
on the Friendship Express. That's the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Season 4. He appeared in the cafe. Let's see. In the Pinky the Party Planner song, apparently
Or
he
was he in
appears
that
during
one? I
Diamond
can't
Tiara's verse.
recall.
So he just
That makes sense.
Yeah. But he also appeared in the Rainbow Falls Trader Exchange in Inspiration Manifestation. Yeah, we already mentioned that. The Cyber Fair. In fact, that's the only time he appears without a mustache, so we could assume that it got burned off because apparently Rarity probably shaved him. Maybe that's why he looks so pissed. And of course, in Equestria Games, he's with everybody else because I swear they had every single pony in that crowd.
He was on the Mystery on the Friendship Express. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
He was there.
Okay, season 5, Slice of Life. He appeared complaining to Derpy about not receiving an invitation to the wedding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, back at the cafe too.
Yeah, but he did appear in the wedding proper afterwards, so apparently he did finally get that invitation. And also he's in Amending Fences as a unicorn that time, serving Pony at a Canterlot Cafe. Season 7,
Moving
he
up in the
appears
world.
in Fame and Misfortune, serving 2 ponies having brunch. Literal background. Season 8, in The End and Friend, he makes a cameo appearance while waiting tables in a Ponyville cafe, gasping! Rarity and Rainbow Dash's argument with the other patrons. So he's just like...
Yeah.
And in Season 9, Last Problem, he's the pony in a flashback with Big Macintosh, delivering crates to prepare for Twilight Sparkle's coronation.
Wow.
And apparently he was delivering the finest sparkling apple juice.
Which was actually crushed apples.
Yeah. But it apparently was actually a bunch of applesauce that was messed up. So yeah, no, he had quite an amazing, prolific appearance, but nobody knows about him. Very fine.
He's the epitome of the "I've been here the whole time" expression.
Pretty much, yeah.
He just has been.
Let's see.
I'll be.
Alrighty.
Alright, and let's
I
see.
think it's time to wrap on up here.
So, yep, that was Super Background Ponies.
Actually, I have a pony I just remembered.
Okay, shoot.
Oh.
We got 2 minutes, shoot.
Donut Joe.
Donut Joe is not
No,
a background
he's
pony.
not a background-
No.
He's
He
got
Nom nom nom.
he's got a very thirsty cult following after him. He is not a background pony. I am surprised
Nice
he's
try,
not.
though.
He's not he doesn't have a bunch of dockies at this point.
He probably
Oh,
does.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
If he doesn't, he should.
he should. Donut Joe is a lovable. I mean, he's the kind of pony you can just squeeze up.
That's
to
right.
really
He had more
easily.
than one talking appearance. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, more than one time. Mystery Express, the Donut Cafe at the end
Yep.
of season 1.
Let's wrap on up here.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so yeah, we got less than a minute, so we're gonna just go ahead and call it good. So these were our super background ponies. This is by no means a comprehensive list because we can't do a comprehensive list. There's way too many ponies to talk about. But these are some of the ones we feel needed a little bit more attention. Hopefully we've been able to educate some of you out there so you can go and spread the word of the super background ponies that need more love. And hopefully we can get some great fan art, some great stories, or maybe even a song made about them. But for now, we're going to go ahead and wrap it all up here. Thank you so much for your time, your love, your attention. Once again, I am Circuit Main of The Brony Show. You can check us out on thebronyshow.net. We are also on Twitch TV, Switch. The Switch Brony Show. Not Switch, Twitch.
Twitch.
That's why my brain was not translating. Twitch.com/The Brony Show and also
Twitch.tv.
YouTube. Twitch TV. Twitch.tv. I give up. We're on Twitch as The Brony Show. We're on YouTube as Brony Show Live. We also have an archive, The Brony Show, on YouTube as well. Be sure to check out our podcast. We're completely stupid. We have no idea what we're doing, but we've been doing it for so many years, we're just going to keep going anyway. So, and with that, we're going to call it, and I hope you all have a good time. Toa, CMC,